A quick and easy pizza without yeast, ready in just 15 minutes. Homemade pizza made with yeast dough is very flavorful, but if you want to eat fresh homemade pizza without spending hours or struggling with yeast, I have a recipe for you. I know this sounds good, let's get started. You can find the ingredient list in the description box below the video. You could also read this full recipe on my blog. Please weigh ingredients for the best results. It's very important to measure the ingredients carefully. We need some all-purpose flour or maida. We need some salt, some sugar. I have some baking powder. Since the proportion of baking powder to flour in this recipe is slightly high, I would recommend you use aluminum-free baking powder. And there's some very thin buttermilk. Use slightly sour buttermilk if you would like the flavor. There's some oil, you can use any flavorless oil. I have some fresh, thick homemade pizza sauce. You can find the link to the recipe in the description box below the video. I have some fresh basil leaves and some grated mozzarella cheese. Before you start making the pizza, make the sauce first so that it cools completely before you use it. If you use hot sauce on the pizza, it may turn soggy. I'll be using these two aluminum plates for baking the pizza. These are very commonly available everywhere. We need to grease them really well so that the pizza has a crisp crust and the pizza doesn't stick to the pan. My oven is preheated to 250 degrees centigrade. That's the maximum temperature in my oven. So now we'll mix the dough. We'll whisk together the flour, the salt, the baking powder, sugar. You can add some onion powder or some herbs or some garlic powder for extra flavor. We'll combine the buttermilk and the oil and then add the flour mixture. Mix this and be gentle when you're mixing the dough. We need a soft dough, but we do not want it to be sticky. Please remember that. Now we'll divide this into two portions and we'll roll this using as little flour as possible. If you use more flour, the crust will be floury and dry. We do not want that. I'm rolling this about 7 to 8 inches in diameter. Try to keep the thickness uniform as much as possible. Don't worry about the shape, a rough circle is good. If you roll the crust thin, the pizza will be crisp, but you do not want to roll it really thin or it will be more of a cracker than a pizza. And now we'll put this on the plate and bake this for about 9 to 10 minutes at 250 degrees centigrade. We need this to be a nice golden brown color. The baking time may vary depending on your oven, and since we are baking at a very high temperature, be really careful or the pizza will burn. So now this is baked. We'll keep the oven on. We still need to put the sauce and the cheese and then put it back into the oven. And now for some sauce, not too much, some cheese and some fresh basil. And now we'll put this back in the oven at 250 degrees centigrade for 1 to 2 minutes or until the cheese melts. Do not bake for too long once you put the cheese, or the cheese will become very hard and chewy. I like to use a pair of scissors to cut the pizza. You could also use a pizza cutter. Do not wait even for a minute, serve the pizza immediately. I'm sure you'll agree, all of us need to have such recipes handy. I hope you'll try this recipe. Please do leave your comments for me. But you must certainly try making pizza with yeast. It's really flavorful. You can watch my video on yeast types and using yeast, and also my video for making easy pizza at home. I'll be back soon with more videos. Please subscribe and stay tuned.